Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And before we get into this video, I'd like to tell you something. Something that I've decided on for quite some time. I've contemplated on if I should share this with you, and I just want to share this with you right away. I believe I am a black man. I am white, but I believe I am a black man, and so since I believe I'm a black man now, I am just going to discriminate white people, especially white men now, just because I believe and think I'm black. But yeah, in all seriousness, I'm not. I don't think that. But that kind of leads us into the topic that we'll be looking at today. Today, we'll be looking at this young lady who believes that she is a white girl, even though obviously, just by looking at her, she is obviously of color. So that's pretty interesting. It's kind of just like the Woah Vicky situation when she claims she's black. It's like a virus. It just leads on to one person to the next person. First it was Woah Vicky, and now it's this person. But instead of saying she's black, she's white. Kind of reverse the colors there. But that's very interesting. We have another one of these people. Hopefully there's not any more, because it's just proving how low humanity can get. Humanity is very low at the moment with TikTok and all that. But humanity is just digging itself a hole, and I don't think we're getting out of that hole anytime soon. So that's it. So we are going to be looking at the Dr. Phil videos of the girl who believes she is black. So let's get right into that. So without further ado, let's play the video.
The problem with my sister Treasure is that she feels like she's white. My sister isn't white. My sister is African American.
Black people are gang members. I don't nothing to do with them. They're criminal and they're thugs.
I hate to say Treasure's crazy, but she acts crazy. If you'd ask me, my sister is racist. She says very hurtful and insulting things to African Americans in public. If an African American walks past us, she'll say things like, she's a gorilla, hood rat, or dark-skinned girls are so ugly. When she says things like that, I feel offended.
I said black people are pigs. Oh.
You hear that? Black people are pigs. I've actually never heard anyone say that. That's usually what you call a fat person. It's like, I never heard anyone say black people are pigs. Honestly, that's mostly a whole thing you say to fat people. You know, like land whales, the pigs. But you know, I'm on the brother side. I'm very surprised she hasn't been smacked yet by any of these people, these strangers that she's been walking up to and saying these things to them. I'm surprised they were not allowed and given their consent by the mother to just walk up and slap this bitch, because that's ridiculous. You should not be allowed to do that. I'm telling you right now, you should not be allowed to do that. Like, that's very hurtful stuff. You should not be allowed to say those things. So yeah, don't say those things. And again, I'm very surprised that she has not been hit for these things.
She just does not care, and she doesn't, I don't think she thinks of black people as human. I wish I could feel as though she does this for attention, but it's just how she feels. I feel like my sister Treasure needs to face reality, and I encourage Treasure to use her intelligence to move us all forward instead of bringing us down. When it comes to hate, I feel like Treasure should be part of the solution and not part of the disease.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. You absolutely do not endorse your sister's beliefs, the statements that she's making, or anything of the sort.
Not at all. I think it's disgusting.
Okay. So here's a question. You say that you think all African Americans are disgusting and thuggish and ugly and all these negative things. Do you feel that way about your brother?
Well, actually, I put my family on a higher level than I put African Americans because they're so low that I would never put my family there. Like, I would never want them to actually be on the same level as African Americans.
That doesn't make any sense. You're putting your family on a higher level than African Americans, even though your family, your mom, and your brother are, considerably speaking, African American. So, that just makes no sense. You put them on a higher level than African Americans, even though that's what they're described as. It's making no sense. That makes no sense, girl. Come on. Makes no sense. It hurts. It hurts my brain so much that someone can be this low and this stupid as a human being. It makes no fucking sense.
But your mother's African American.
Well, I mean, supposedly, but you know, I'm not gonna put her on the African American level. I don't know, because then I will treat them like
Are you African American?
Yes, I am proud.
Are you African American?
I am 100% African
So when you lump them all together, they're telling you straight up they're African Americans. So
I mean, if they're African Americans, they're uncivilized people.
Okay, what the fuck is going on here? First, she said she could put them on the highest scale, like on a pyramid. They are on the top of the pyramid above everyone else who's black. And now that Dr. Phil is pointing out they are black, she has just kicked them down to the bottom of the pyramid. Oh my fuck. Oh my gosh. How many brain cells do you need to have to think like this? I'm thinking barely any brain cells. It's just so stupid. How does any human think and function like this person? How?
So you're saying your brother is uncivilized?
They deserve to be in jail. I mean, if they want to be African American, then that's where they go. You know, that's what African American people do. They go to jail.
Do you hear the things that's coming out of your mouth right now?
Of course.
Do you actually, like you say you have perfect ears, do they work?
It's not that you identify ethnicity-wise with a Caucasian group. That's your choice. What's offensive to me is why you would be such a racist about it. Because let me tell you, if you want to identify with the Caucasian group, of which I'm a member, you are not welcome. Let me tell you.
Wow.
Because you are saying ugly, hateful, disgusting things about decent, caring, loving human beings. And I just find that so...
Okay, so that was on that video, nothing much. We just learned that she was like she was a racist, and her brain is not capable of thinking on a human level. But I found another video from Dr. Phil, which will have some more information about her. So let's get into that.
I know a lot of people take issue with my beliefs. I'm white.
I like that she just says, I'm white. Like, she is straight up serious. She's not playing around. She's straight up saying she's white. Even though she can just look at herself in the mirror and obviously see she's definitely the opposite color. But she's just straight up, without even taking any evidence against that, she's just saying, I am white. I am not delusional.
I'm a Caucasian because everything about me is different from an African American. I have naturally straight hair. My hair isn't nappy. It doesn't require weave. My nose is not giant as like African American.
Oh, your nose is not giant. From looking at the shots and the pictures of you, I'd like you to rethink that one, because you have abnormally, unusually huge nostrils for a white person. I've never seen any white person that have a big enough nose as you. So your argument saying you don't have a big nose is a lie. Straight up lie.
My lips are perfect. They're not too big and they're not too small. Like, they're just perfect.
Okay, you can definitely see from this shot right here. They're big. They're big. Like, what are you on about, man? They're big. They're big. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. These lips, they're not considered white lips. So I gotta say, those lips, they're just enormously huge.
My ears, I don't have black people ears because they're really giant. Most African Americans speak ghetto. But when it comes to black people, I think they're all ugly and I have nothing in common with them. I'm different from African Americans because I'm white. My figure is just like Kim Kardashian and she's a wonderful role model.
Okay, comparing yourself to Kim Kardashian, that's not a thing you should really compare yourself to, especially because she kind of also has big lips, mostly because they're fake. They're imploded, so it's not really a good idea to argue, to say you kind of like Kim Kardashian when your argument is, I don't have big lips like a black person. So right there, that's not a good comparison, and a healthy one too.
I act and I think like a white person instead of a black person. I believe that I'm completely and utterly better than them. Like, we're on two different levels. Like, okay, African Americans are here, I'm here. White people act and think just way more mature than African Americans. Black people, they think in a criminal way.
That's not very true. White people think about the same as African Americans. We're not all smart. White people aren't the smartest. Like, we've done retarded shit. We've done slavery, which was a pretty shitty thing to do for the white race. We've done some other stuff too, but I believe that's probably one of the worst things I could think of for white people doing. So, yeah, we're based on the same level of smartness as you guys. We don't all think straight.
When I think about African Americans, I feel like asking them, what is wrong with them? They're really dangerous. If African American is on the same street as I am, I'll cross the street to avoid their chaotic, thuggish ways.
I would like to ask you the same question. What is wrong with you, and what goes through your head to think that way?
Are you okay?
I'm irritated.
I'm sorry.
I just know that I'm white. I mean, she might not know that I'm white, but I know that I'm white. I can feel it through my veins. I feel it through my blood. I tell my mom I'll never be like any of those Negroes.
Oh, she dropped it. She dropped the N-word. Oh, no. She's white. She can't say that. She can't say that word. She can't say that word if she's white. No. No. You can't say that word. If you describe yourself as a white person, you gotta play the role as a white person. And one of the roles is not to say the N-word. Only your family members can do that.
My mom tries to criticize me about my supposed race. I tell her she's just ignorant. There's nothing wrong with my views or beliefs because I have freedom of speech and everything I'm saying is true. I
don't know why people use this argument. I have freedom of speech. You You do, but within that freedom of speech, there are limits. Like, sure, your freedom of speech, but there are certain things that you should not say, even if you have the freedom to say it, just because they're not they're not appropriate to the culture. Just, if you use that argument, I don't know what you are if you use that argument.
Okay, Treasure, how are you this morning?
Pretty great. How are you?
I'm all right.
That's great.
Now, you've been listening to everything we've talked about so far,
Yes,
right?
I have.
And is there anything that your mom has said or told me about that's inaccurate, incomplete, or that you want to add something to?
Well, I mean, actually, yeah. You guys called me delusional earlier, and I feel like the only people
No, I did not call you delusional. I asked your mother if she thought you were delusional.
Yes, well, you asked her that question. I would like to clarify the fact that I am nowhere near delusional. I'm actually very capable and a very intelligent person, so.
That's what a delusional person says. They're not delusional. So she's probably delusional, and she's fucking 16, so she's delusional.
Being delusional and being intelligent are not mutually exclusive.
Well, I feel like if you're being delusional, then you got to be some type of retarded, and I'm not that.
You're retarded too, just because of you saying that. And also because you're thinking you're white when you're not. And some other things. But you're probably, honestly, retarded.
Well, I have two things to say about that. Number one, that's absolutely just simply not the fact. And number two, using that word is very derogatory. So I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't use that word.
Yeah, well, okay, well, I'll understand, only because I'm a very respectful person. And if you wish that I don't use that word, then I most definitely won't use it.
Okay, appreciate that.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, the way she talks to. He's like, oh, I am a very respectful human being. I will respect your opinion. But if you were black and you asked me to do that, I'll be like, fuck no. I'll just do it as I please. You're lower than me. Thank you. Have a good day.
When you say that you believe yourself to be Caucasian, tell me why you believe that to be true.
Well, I know I'm a Caucasian because when I wake up in the morning, I just have such a great life. And that my hair is so perfect, my skin isn't ugly, and I'm not fat also, which is also a really African-American thing.
Being fat is not an African-American thing. I like to correct that. That's a American thing, not just African-American. American thing. It's an American thing. African people, no, they're not fat. They're starving on the streets. Us Americans, the majority of us, are fat. They're walking hamburgers. So it's not an African American thing. It's an American thing. I'd like to clarify that. But
So, like, I'm just nowhere near like them. And plus, they're so thug and criminal that I can't relate.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, that's just so riddled with ignorance, I don't even know how to respond.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it to be insulting. Ignorance doesn't mean lack of intelligence. It means lack of information. I think you're confusing the concept of race and ethnicity, because race is really biologically determined.
I know I'm biologically white. I feel it through my veins and through my blood. I don't just think I'm white. I know that I'm white. There's no doubt in my mind.
just because you feel it doesn't mean that's you. Like, let's say I feel like I'm a unicorn. I'm a pink unicorn with a sharp, very perfect white horn. But I feel like I'm a unicorn. I feel it in my veins. I feel it in my heart. I am a unicorn. So I'm a unicorn. That doesn't mean I'm a unicorn. It just makes me look crazy and I need to be put in a straitjacket or I need therapy. It just because you feel it doesn't mean you're that thing. Okay? Just because you feel it, it doesn't mean you are that thing or type of person.
Even though I have told you that your father was not your father and that you are actually African American?
You might be lying. I don't trust anything that anyone else says. I know that I'm white.
Ethnicity, on the other hand, has to do with whether or not you identify with a particular group in terms of their culture and practices, beliefs, religions, things that go along with that particular group, and that has nothing to do with race. Sometimes they can overlap, but not always.
Well, I feel like you're wrong. You're completely wrong. I know who I am, and I know my race, and I'm a proud white person. And there's nothing, I feel it through my veins, like it's literally in my blood. There's no way. I don't believe that I'm white. It's not my ethnicity.
Treasure, do you
It's my race.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm basically done at this point, you know. I don't know what to say. Every single time I go on the internet, people are just so stupid, and I feel like it's just getting dumber and dumber and dumber. So, you know, fucking hell. It just hurts. It hurts to hear this. It hurts to think of it. It hurts to watch a kid at this age, at the age of 16, say stuff like this. So, apparently, after doing some research, it's fake. Thank goodness, it's fake. But she's probably still a racist, even though it's fake. Probably just like the Woah Vicky situation. Did it for publicity and all that. She's probably still considered a racist. Even if you're faking it, you said hurtful things, and you're described as a racist now. And here's the bad part. Here's the bad part about that. Faking that and saying racist things makes people think you're racist. So now, whenever like you go to school or wherever you do in your daily life now, she's probably be labeled as a delusional racist. So hopefully she has fun with that. But yeah, that's basically the end of today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this doesn't happen again. People were thinking a different color of ethnicity and looking delusional and stupid just for the fame, basically, and attention. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. And yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.